Time for Komets Hockey.
My Komets on my TV!
A road game, but judging by the crowd in the stands, it feels like the jungle in here in Kalamazoo's Wings Stadium for tonight's Game 5 between the Fort Wayne Komets and the home, sort of, Kalamazoo K-Wings. Hi everybody, Tommy Schegler, we're here with you. And we have a Game 5 situation here on a Saturday night in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The K's were hoping to go for a sweep and wrap this thing up last night. Didn't quite work out, mainly due at a 2-1. Of this Eastern Conference quarterfinals series between the Komets and rival Kalamazoo. Komets lead the series 3-1, looking to close things out. So far in the series, it was a 4-2 win in game number 1, 3-0 in game number 2, 3-1 in game number 3. All those wins going in the way of Fort Wayne. And then last night, the 4-3 loss that we went over right before the break there, the lone loss for the Komets in this series. So they look to close it out tonight. Here's a look at the starting lineups for the home Kalamazoo K-Wings. Eric Catalyst, Patrick Kennedy, Ludwig Bloomstrand, Steven Canisto, and Joe Sova going to be the D-men. And then, of course, the veteran Joel Martin will be in the net. As for the Komets, Matt Lowry, CJ Severyn, Kaylee Schrock, the grinded out line, third liners, Cody Soul, William Lacasse, and then Roman will be in between the pipes once again for Gary Graham. Let's get this thing started from Kalamazoo. First face-off of the night, won by the K-Wings. And here is Severyn pulling it out. Comes out to Lacasse. Loose in front. Rebound score! Just 15 seconds into the game, Matt Lowry in front on a rebound score, and the Komets are up 1-0. Will Lacasse sent it in from the point, grinding it out in front. CJ Severyn was camped out, and Lowry came slicing in and put it in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 Komets. What a way to start. Bloomstrand carries it in, one in on Will and hanging on with the glove, and this huge Komet crowd is fired up after that fast start. Wow, what a way to get things started. People still settling into their seats, and if you're head coach Gary Graham, you got to be pleased with that. Face off that time, won by the Komets. Squirts all the way out. Chasing it down is Ponich. He'll backhand it along the wall. Now back behind the net, nobody home. Drew Daniels comes down, gets involved in the play. He'll bring it behind Martin, and now puts on the brakes in the corner. Fights for it with two different K-Wings. That shot blocked down by Mike Embach. The traditional he shoots, he scores chant coming from these Komet fans after the PA announcer done with the announcement of the goal. And it's 1 minute into this game and already 1-0 Komets. Barteaux tries to carry it in around Michael Tam. He stands him up. Centering feed in front. Goes off the side of the cage and out to neutral. Tracking it down there is Chelios. He'll go D to D. And now a turnover. It'll be James Martin coming away with it. Here is Mitchell Hurd. He carries it in, slices through a defender, gets to the forehand. Now wraparound attempt in front. Fanning on it was Olette, and now squirts out into the corner. Another great opportunity for the Komets. Nagy coming away with it, taking off the play at neutral. Ouellette comes away with it for the K's. That one popped up into the air at the blue line. Komets, though, going to be able to re-corral. It's Mitchell Hurd. Now over to Martin. Back to Hurd, who surveys and sauces it to the near side, and then chipping it along is Martin. The other Martin, Joel Martin, catches the Komets on a change. Big drive on the way, goes off the stick of Cody Soul and up into the mesh. 17:43 to go in the first period. 1-0 Komets off a Matt Lowry rebound, greasy goal in front, just 15 seconds, I should say, into this game. Face-off in front, just to the left of Roman Will. That one won by Lowry. No face-off, something that head coach Gary Graham's been talking about the Komets need to get better at so far. They've won 3 of the 4 face-offs in the game. Drive on the way, save, rebound, another drive from Soul, never got through. And coming away with it is Bloomstrand. He'll finally clear it. And having a real hard time even getting to his feet is Patrick Kennedy. Joel Martin, the goalie behind the play, had to push Kennedy to the bench. And he is doubled over in pain on the bench right now, being looked at by the trainers. Try to keep an eye on that. And icing call, we'll see if now he tries to get to the locker room, as there's no access to the locker room directly from the benches here at Wing Stadium. You have to go down into the corners. But I assume he was the one that blocked down that big shot by Cody Soul. And obviously Solar, 6'5", 242 pounds, the big guy on the team, and noted as the one that's probably has the biggest slap shot. Got all of that one as Bloomstrand walks in, loose in front. Sending it in front are the K-Wings. Now to the point, Ponich. Ponich will send a drive, and hanging on is Roman Will. A couple of extra swipes at the Komets netminder after the whistle. And he has a couple words for the referee. Tyler Putafent tonight is the referee here for game number 5. Kennedy still on the bench, has not gone to the tunnel. He was the one that came up with the block shot. He is still doubled over in pain, though. He's kind of writhing right now. 16:41. Another face-off won by the K's. They've had the better of it early on. Unfortunately, that goes all the way down to the other end. Going to be an icing. We'll come back and do it all over again. Komets up 1-0 here. Tommy Schegler with you. You're home for Komet Playoff Hockey, MyTV Fort Wayne. All these broadcasts brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. PSM provides performance and fitness training, advanced rehabilitation services, and nutrition consultations, as Roman Will comes up with yet another glove save there off the faceoff. You can learn more about Parkview Sports Medicine. Just call 260-266-4007. Another face-off coming the way of these two squads. They get a change before they do so. The line of Mitchell Hurd, Matt Pistilli come out there, and Christian Ouellette joining them on this second line. Paul Crowder for the second straight night. A scratch with an upper body injury. Hoping that that ends up not being, as Komets are able to clear it out, not being something that keeps Crowder out indefinitely if the Komets are able to close this series out and move on to the next round. Doesn't look like this will be something that will keep him out of that particular. And a score by Nagy. 2-on-1 developing, and Nagy sent one in on one that Roman Will probably wishes he has back a little bit, although Nagy did have a nice head of steam going and got some good wood on the slap shot sent in on the rookie. And the wrister just gets by and kind of fools Roman Will. And we are all tied up at 1. So Kalamazoo answers back after that fast start by the Komets. Let's see what kind of response we get from the K's now. Kind of a breakdown defensively. Giving up the 2-on-1. Haven't given up too many odd man rushes, have the Komets in this series so far. Canisto gets into Kaylee Schrock as Severyn takes it in. And a centering feed. Lowry in front. That one banks off of Martin and is loose in the slot. Soul comes away with it. Now over to Lacasse. Lacasse holds on to it. Holds on. Now goes up top and hanging on is Martin. Another good shift by this third line of Severyn, Lowry, and Schrock. Jurgo Nagy credited with that goal. Assist going to Fatorik, Sam Fatorik, the D-man. Face-off won by the K's. Backhander sent in by Szydlowski. Didn't get a whole lot on it. Taken down and broken up by Barteaux, the captain. That one goes off the wall. Taylor working on. It's Michael Tam. How that's not a hold, I have no idea. Wow. And one sent in. That one knocked down before it gets in by Martin. Daniels, Barteaux now the other way. He swipes and misses. Eric Faille comes away with it here on the near side, flips it up and into the K zone. Szydlowski and Embach now pursuing on the forecheck. Here's Faille swiping at it. Urban hits on the brakes, tries to center. One-timer sent in by Chelios, knocked down by Szydlowski, who's feeling it right now on the right leg. Fighting for it in the corner. Barteaux sends it in front dangerously. Trying to save it is Nagy, but K's are able to clear. Helping it along is Embach, and the Komets will get a change. Here's Hurd, Pistilli, and Willett. 14-13 left to go here in the first period from Kalamazoo. 1-1. Komets out shooting. I should say it's now tied up 4-4. Feels like the Komets have had the better of the play early on. Outside of the one goal, which was a 2-on-1 situation, haven't been a lot of prime opportunities for Kalamazoo where it feels like there has been more than one good chance for the Komets on the other end. Well, they've come out nicely and responded to the disappointment last night in game number 4. Don't want to head back to the Coliseum. Game 6 would be on Monday night if needed. This is Will Lacasse standing behind his own net. Looking. Now he goes deep to CJ Severyn and a turnover. Back come the K-Wings, and they turn it right back over to the Komets. No icing. Waved off. Played off the boards by Lacasse. Gloving it is CJ Severyn. Helping it along is Lowry, and now they'll chase it down on the forecheck. Schrock beats everybody to the punch. Barteaux gets down in the play, sends one in, and a rebound out behind the net. Here's Severyn. Severyn trying to get it to Schrock, taken away. And taking him down is Barteaux. Sending Szydlowski, and Szydlowski now getting another shot in on Schrock before he goes to the bench as the Komets get the top line, the money line out there. There we go the other way. This is Martin. To Barteaux. Playing it long off the wall. Szydlowski helped it along, but right to one of the K-Wings. Now a 2-on-2 developing, and a couple guys getting into the play, but knocked down out of the air by Barteaux on the centering feed. Now into the trapezoid. In front, and a save. Ponic slicing in front and getting a nice look on Roman Will, but the rookie comes up with the save. 1-1 right now. Got to take a break. You're watching my Komets on my TV.
On the next episode of The Walking Dead.
Way, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Back to live action here in Wings Stadium. Tommy Schegler with you. Face-off won by the K's, but immediately sent down for an icing, so they'll do it all over again. Don't forget, Komet fans, you can watch all the action of Komet hockey here on my TV at the official watch zone. The Tilted Kilt in Jefferson Point. Stop by the Kilt for all of your Komet road game broadcast. Chance to win a pair of tickets to a Komet home game. Discounts for game day. Here they've been getting great crowds out there. The official watch zone of Komet hockey here on my TV. Fort Wayne going to be doing all the playoff games, and you can watch them all at the Tilted Kilt in Jefferson Point. 1-1 here in the first period. That one goes out of play. And Michael Tam, Justin Taylor, a couple of extra words. Tyler Putafant, the referee, along with Sean Morgan, one of the linesmen, breaking that one up without issue. No harm, no foul. Will play on with 11:32 left to go in the first period. 1-1. Komets came out like a house of fire. Gets a goal in the first 15 seconds of this one. Great contingent of Komet fans. They loved that. Got into the game right away. But the K-Wings have righted the ship on a Jergo Nagy 2-on-1 goal that kind of fooled Roman Will. And so we sit at 1 apiece. Here's Matt Pistilli running it down, getting the body into Chelios. And now Mitchell Hurd gets into the play in the corner. Tried to poke it out of there. Saved at the point, and now whipped over to Martin. Played along the wall down low, and they'll try to grind it out some more. Pistilli back up to the point, and Martin was unable to hold it in. So to come all the way down to the other end, Correa on his horse with Barteaux, wins the race, loses his helmet in the process. Komets come away with it. Martin all the way down, poking at it. Whipped around the boards. Pistilli has it there, backhands it over to Soul, who sends it in and gloved by Martin. 10:41 left to go, first period, all tied at 1. Parkview Sports Medicine bringing you another edition of Komet hockey here on my TV. Fort Wayne. When an injury knocks you out of the game that you love, call Parkview Sports Medicine 260-266-4007. PSM can get you back in action quickly and safely. Third line back out there. They have done well. Muir's joining them this time. He's the 10th forward tonight. Or at least appeared so by the first several shifts. Kaylee Schrock may be the 10th forward, but he played with Lowry and Severyn the first several times. That line was out on the ice tonight, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. If Muir's gets 50-50 with this line, 75%, keep a close eye on that. Taken down to the ice behind the play is Catalyst for the K-Wings. That provides an odd man rush, but deflected off into the corner by Sova. And now a battle for it in the It's Hurd. Hurd's got a one-on-one situation. Fakes out the defender, leaves it for Willett. He sends it in front, still loose, rebound, and it comes out to the K-Wings, who are able to clear. Nice move by Mitchell Hurd. You see the ability, the smoothness, the stick handling rubbed off the play as he was coming in. On that one were the K-Wings. And now comes back is Hurd, sending one in, and covering up is Martin. Some more talking after the play. Here's something that you don't realize. If you don't remember from when Mitchell Hurd was here early in the regular season, you don't want to mess with Hurd. He may have unbelievable skill, and he may be a potent goal scorer, especially at this level, but Hurd can rack up some penalty minutes, and he will not back down from anybody. So I'm not sure if you're a Kalamazoo player that Hurd is the right guy that you want to pick on, because he will drop them at the drop of a hat, no doubt about that. Third line back in there, Schrock back in there on the right side, and Lowry, 50-50 face-off, won by Schrock in the corner. Knocked down on the half wall is Szydlowski by Lowry. Severyn comes up with it as they keep it in, but he has to retreat out to neutral. And a whistle away from the play. That's going to be a slashing call on C.J. Severyn on Sova, the defenseman for the K-Wings. So a 2-minute slashing call. C.J. Severyn, of course, the one that got called in the third period for the double minor last night on the high stick. And so he takes one here with 8:05 left to go in the first period. A 2-minute slash. So it'll give Kalamazoo their first power play opportunity of the night. Catalyst wins that face-off, and they'll set up shop here to start the power play. The 1-3-1, they go down low, and Drew Daniels successfully intercepted it but was unable to clear. One-timer fanned on a bit and sent into the corner by Fatorik. Backside wrister gets deflected up top and into the corner on the other side. Tam whips it around the board. Nobody home at the point, so it will come out to center. Minute and 32 left to go on the power play. Szydlowski back to Tam, who will send it all the way down. Mike Embach, who's been somewhat quiet so far in this series, stalking on Urban, who now sends it in deep around the boards. Lacasse tries to send it out, unable to do so. Bloomstrand now with it. Bloomstrand with some speed, sends it. Now comes around in the dot, out to Tech. Chelios scores from the point. Looked like it might have been tipped in front. It was hard to tell if it was off Roman Will. Chelios sends one in and ties this game up on a power play. Nice look by Bloomstrand. And it was hard to tell. It was Michael Neal that was camped out in front for the K-Wings. And it's just kind of hard to tell. I don't think he got a piece of it. I think it's going to be Chelios' goal. But we'll wait for the official scorer. Either way, we're tied up at 2. 7:05 left to go in the first period. And there's been a lot of back and forth action here in the first 20. From the slot, wheeling and turning around, still loose in there. Everybody swiping at it, finally moved out to the half wall. It's Garrett Mears that comes away with it. Mears taken down off the play, and there's going to be a delayed penalty coming up. Barteaux might go. There were a couple K-Wings that could have been called there. We'll wait for the call. I believe it's going to be an interference call or a boarding call. Hard to tell. Podafence had his back to me on the call. Yeah, I think it's going to be a boarding call. And it will be Barteaux going in to the box for 2 minutes. Komets scored on their only other power play opportunity of the night. So they will get another chance. Top line of Szydlowski, Severyn, Faille, Embach, the guys that scored the last power play goal, will start this one. Great turn of events for the Komets after giving up the goal that ties the game. They turn around and win a faceoff to start this power play opportunity, and they turn it over, and that one's sent all the way down to Roman Will, who gloves it. All right, Drew Daniels now the other way. Faille back to Daniels. Daniels with some room, gets it to Faille, sends the backhander in on Martin, who covers up. .6:22 left to go here in the first. 2-2 is our score. Tommy Schegler with you here on a Saturday night. Remember, if the Komets were to lose this game tonight, Game 6 will be Monday night in the Coliseum, 7:35. Tickets available. Call Coliseum box office. Ticketmaster.com is another way you can do that. Game 7, if needed, would be on Wednesday night, also 7:30, but hopefully we won't have to worry about any of that. We'll just be awaiting what the playoff schedule will be for the second round series that the Komets will be getting ready for. Wheeling around is Daniels. Szydlowski, one touch to Faille. Faille takes it down half wall here on the near side. Back up to Szydlowski, over to Faille. He now has space. Walks in, wrister on the way, whistles wide of Martin, and cleared out by Kalamazoo. All right, here come the K's. 48 seconds still on the power play. Just received a little slip from the official scorer. Was Chelios that got that goal as we thought. No deflection in front. And so that is how we arrived at 2-2. Boarding call, though, on Bourbeau. The captain, Jean Bourbeau, for the K-Wings, has the Komets in a man advantage situation for the next 20 seconds. Right now, not looking so good. One last rush coming out for the Komets right now. And this is Martin. Flips it over. This is Pistilli. He takes it around. Centering feed in front. Mears backhand save. And it goes wide. Looked like it was going to be in the back of the net, but just squirts to the left of Martin, who now scoops it up. And the power play comes to an end. We have a timeout on the ice. We're tied at 2 here in Kalamazoo. You're watching my Komets on my TV.
Parkview Sports Medicine.
Back here at Wing Stadium, Matt Lowry booted out of the face-off circle. It'll be C.J. Severyn instead stepping in against Nagy. Nagy gets the best of that one out into the corner. Swiping it out of the air is Lacasse. Nagy slips him, gets down into the corner where he meets Lowry. Now Fatorik on the near side, battling with a couple of different Komets. And coming away with it, though, is Nagy. He walks into the trapezoid, and from his knees, nice little backhander by Severyn, and the Komets are able to clear. Kaylee Schrock can't handle the bouncing puck, poked away by Sova. And now the K-Wings will look to attack with 4 minutes left to go here in the first period, and a tie game at 2. Game 5, Komets looking to close this thing out. Up 3-1 in the series. 2-3-2 format. So the next 2, if needed, would be back in Fort Wayne. This is Ponich. The big fella lumbers into the corner, comes away with it after a couple body blasts, sends a wrister in, but a save by Will. With 3:33 left to go. Play has seemed to settle in just a little bit after a flurry of activity over the first 12 minutes or so of this game. K-Wings lead in shots 10-8. Definitely have had the better of things over the last 5 or 6 minutes, but the Komets have had their chances, no doubt about that. Hasn't been what I would call or describe as especially physical so far. Although you can tell that we are getting deeper into the series as it is getting a little bit more chippy after every whistle, more talk after every whistle, so have to keep an eye on that. Nice pass. Here's Faille. Faille working on the defender, taken off the play by Neal, and back the other way are the K-Wings who turn it over at neutral. That was a nice play, though, by the big guy, Michael Neal, on Eric Faille, who now has it again and directs it over to over to Martin, and Martin comes way out of his crease and covers up at 2:55 left in the first period. And just as a couple minutes ago, Roman Will was upset about the snow blizzard that he received from one of the K-Wings on the hockey stop. Same thing happens to Martin. Of course, that first one resulted in an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for the K-Wings, and they were just lobbying the referee, Tyler Putafant, for the same thing right now, but with Martin coming that far out of his crease, probably not going to get that call. Here's Hurd. He whips it around high off the glass. Pistilli back to Hurd. Hurd screening out on Catalyst. Centering feed in front. Pistol scores! Mitchell Hurd to Matt Pistilli, and the Komets are back in front 3-2. Comet Nation loving every second of it. Beautiful feed by Mitchell Hurd. Even better finish by Matt Pistilli. And the Komets back in front by a score of 3-2. Here with 2:36 left to go in the first period. And we got a whistle. We'll do everything all over again. Here comes the Let's Go Comet chant. And here comes the third line for the Komets that has been awfully good here in the first period. Every time they've been on the ice, they have generated plays, they've made plays, they've generated offense, they've made things happen, and they definitely have it going here in the first 20. Lose that particular face-off there, and Barteaux sends it in. Neal, I should say, fighting with Will. Lacasse, and Lacasse wins that battle, comes away with it. And then turns it over on the pass. Kaylee Schrock on the back check, knocks Barteaux to the ground, and now they fight for it. Severyn uses the skate to kick it over to Lacasse, and now the big guy, Soul, plays it off the boards and in. All right, here's Kalamazoo. Outlet pass to Correa. Correa's got Nagy. Tries to split the defenders. Poked away from him. Sends it into the corner. Hurd comes away with it. Uses the cage as a screen and then goes around another defender. Boy, Mitchell Hurd is just smooth, everybody. He's smooth, and he's walking into three defenders. That time maybe one too many men that he took on, and it's Martin covering up. Another couple of pleasantries exchanged after the whistle. Minute 26 left to go here in the first period. 3-2, Komets. Goals by Pistilli, Severyn, and Lowry. All right, face-off coming. It's going to be Faille against Nagy. And that one won by Jergo Nagy. Faille rubbed off the play at the line, and then Tam sends one in, directed into the corner by Martin. And here come the K-Wings, back from behind their own net. Szydlowski chips it along the boards, takes it into the zone. Under a minute to play here in the first as it comes back out to neutral. Sending it over, Ponich. Here's Bloomstrand. That one deflected off into the corner after the wrister. Catalyst can't handle it. It comes all the way out to Canisto. Chipped along, back in deep by the Wings. Komets have no problem coming away with it, though. And with 30 seconds left to go in the period, they try to get something going. Jumps off the stick of Lowry. He's still trying to recover and unable to do so as Neal comes out with it. 3-on-3. And offsides as that one's deflected. Messed up the timing as they were coming into the Komet zone. 3-2 is your score. Tommy Schegler with you here on a Saturday night. Once again, 21 Alive. MyTV Fort Wayne doing our best to bring you the best coverage of Komet hockey in town. Bringing you all the playoff road games live here on MyTV. And once again, we're the only local station up here covering the team in Kalamazoo. So tune in to 21 Alive tonight at 11. And we will have highlights. That will bring a close to the first 20 minutes. And Komet fans here in Kalamazoo are happy as their Komets are up 3-2. We're going to take a break, talk a little bit more about the first period. You're watching My Komets on MyTV. Moments away from the second period, getting underway here in game number 5 of this Kelly Cup playoff series between the Komets and Kalamazoo K-Wings. The Komets up 3-2 after the first period. All these broadcasts of Komets road hockey brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. Whether you're looking for an elite performance training program or a comprehensive fitness program, Parkview Sports Medicine has what you need, everybody. They got a lot of different things and a lot of different experts that can help you get in shape, or if you're already in shape and want to take it to the next level, they can help you out with that. Just give them a call, 260-266-4007. Tommy Schegler here with you, getting ready for the second period. Komets have a 3-2 lead headed in to the second. First period, fun to watch. So, how Gary Graham feels about the first 20. Had to like what he saw on the offensive side. Defensively, just gave up a couple too many chances. All right, face-off won by Kalamazoo to start the period, and then an offside call. (11-8) on face-offs is what I had for the first period in favor of Kalamazoo after the Komets really jumped out to a lead. That one also won by the K-Wings. And here we go. This is Will Lacasse, long outlets. And that is going to be an icing. Nobody was able to make contact with it. Kaylee Schrock fighting for it, unable to do so. So we head back to the other end. That third line back out there for the Komets. And this is Matt Lowry setting up shop against Eric Catalyst. And Schrock comes away with it with speed up the right wing. Got some help in the middle. Wrister sent on the way. Save made by Martin. Rebound in front. Centering feed and a backdoor fanned on by Schrock. Out to the point. A drive by Soul. Redirected in front. Still loose. And the Komets, a flurry of activity in front of Joel Martin. Unable to cash in. But once again, the third line has some opportunities. Big drive knocked down in front. And a drive by Schrock. A nice little wrister in front. Save by Martin. Another great shift turned in by the third line as shot out of a cannon off of the faceoff was the captain, Kaylee Schrock, was able to take it in and get around a defender. Got the initial good shot on Martin, but then there were several opportunities that followed during that whole sequence. Unfortunately, the Komets unable to get it by the netminder Martin for the K-Wings and start the second period out the same way that we started the game out, with a goal in the first minute. Tam cutting off the big fella Neal, who now has it in the near side corner. And this is Barteaux. Barteaux out to the point. Ponich sending it in. A drive, redirected in front and whistles wide. Kept in by Wilson. Wilson jumps over the stick of Neal, but Barteaux with it. Centering Freed in front, deflected off into the corner and finally cleared. 2-on-1 developing. And hand pass called behind the play. Too bad, too, because Komets had something going. They had a 2-on-1. Tyler Putafant, the referee tonight, saying, sorry, boys, we're heading back to the other side. So to the right of Roman Will is where we will set up on the dot. That one won by the Zoo. That drive sent in. Sails wide. Still fought for on the half wall. Christian Ouellette comes away with it. Here's Pistilli. Pistilli around a defender to Hurd. Hurd in front, still loose. He flips it up just over the crossbar. Oh, I thought that Mitchell Hurd had a goal locked up, and it goes just over the goal of the K-Wings. You can't get any closer than what we just had there. .18:01 left to go here in the second period. Still 3-2. Komets all right, this is Mitchell Hurd on the face-off. Out to Martin. A drive and a save. Covering up is Martin. Reminder, everybody, as I said earlier, all the playoff games for the Komets throughout the entire playoff run will be right here on my TV, Fort Wayne. All the broadcasts brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. This is the last of the games for this series that we know of at this point. We don't have the schedule for the second round yet, so we don't have any broadcasts that we can share with you tonight. But obviously, whether the series gets wrapped up tonight, Game 6, Game 7, if the K's move on, we will get that broadcast schedule out to you very quickly, as the Komets will definitely get out the overall series information once things wrap up with Wheeling and Toledo. That series tied up at 2 games apiece, I believe. And Game 5 going on tonight. That face-off won by the Komets. Set one in that goes wide right. Bloomstrand comes away with it. Cody Soul thought about tracking down Bloomstrand, but then thought the better of it. And the big man is back now and with the puck right to the left of his netminder. Back into the trapezoid, slips a would-be forechecker. And now looks to outlet. Does so to Mears. Mears taken off the play at neutral and back behind the net. Will comes out to play it. Weak pass taken by Scheidel. In front, Bloomstrand save into the corner. Nice kick save by Roman Will. And here's Lowry. Komets trying to get it out of the zone. They finally are able to get it on an outlet pass. Severyn has it jump off his stick, and it'll go back to the K-Wings because of that. This is Catalyst. Nice pass over. Glove save, Will, as he fought it off. Wasn't able to hang on, so play continues. Backhander deflected out to the point. Sending it down low is Wilson. And here's Bloomstrand to Ponich. A drive, rebound in front, and coming away with it is Cody Soul. Embach over to Lowry. Mears sends it high over the crossbar. Backhander goes in front, and Daniels now sending it down low. That pass by Embach, nobody home, so cleared out, but Embach now back with it momentarily, taking off the play. Here's Taylor. Taylor looking for help. Sends a weird angled shot in that goes all the way to the other side. A drive, and hanging on is Will. A couple of extra swipes as usual by Taylor. And we will get a face-off. 16 minutes left to go here in the second period. 3-2. Komets with a 1-goal advantage here in Game 5 of this best-of-7 first-round series. Face-off won by the Zoo. Deflected out to Taylor in the high slot. He sends one in that whistles wide to the left and high. Rebound in front. Swatted at and directed off into the corner. Daniels trying to fight off Neal, but Neal is a big fella. 6'3", 220. Not easy to push him around. And we're able to clear, so having to reset and get it back in deep are the Wings, but coming away with it after Kalamazoo went for a change are the Komets. Here is Szydlowski getting those legs moving, getting it over to Embach. He sends a wrister in, blocker save up into the glass by Martin. Faille, another one, and rebound in front, and covering up is Martin. Quick whistle by Tyler Putafant, the referee. Couple of opportunities for the Komets there. They've pulled in front in the shots department. 16, well, actually they just changed it on the board. It's now 16-16. Can't get any closer than that. We have 15-15 left to go in the second period. Komets with a 1-goal advantage. Mitchell Hurd in that line out there now. Hurd comes away with the win on that face-off. But it is the K-Wings able to get possession and get it out to neutral. This is Urban. Urban walking in. Couple defenders in front of him. Sends a wrister that goes high and wide. Now out to point position. Down low, Barteaux. He's got some space. Tries a backhander. Pistilli plays it from his knees, taken away by the Wings. Shoveled along in, but taking it there is Barteaux. And here come the Komets. Ouellette up the left side. Blocked in front. Urban. And covering up is Martin. Interesting first 5.5 minutes of this second period. Komets getting some chances, but Kalamazoo is sneaky, everybody. I mean, just when you think you might be starting to get the better of the play, they'll put 2 or 3 or 4 shifts together where they get you back on your heels, and they can score quickly, especially in this building. Although so much was made of the difference in the buildings and the smaller ice surface here in Kalamazoo headed into this series. Obviously, there was reason for that. Komets had lost 5 in a row up here, but it doesn't seem to have bothered them in the first 2 games. Obviously a 3-1 win, as here comes Schrock. We got a 2-on-1 developing with Severyn. Schrock, wrister on the way, and a save, Martin. Timeout on the ice. 3-2. Komets, you're watching my Komets on my TV. Post-game reaction from the guys in the locker room. Your home for the Komets, my TV, and 21 Alive. So go ahead and check us out at 11. And we thank you for joining us here tonight. Komets looking to get a little bit of breathing room, trying to get that next goal. Next goal of this game is going to be very important. If Kalamazoo comes up with it, we have a whole new ball game tied up. And of course, if the Komets can get a 2-goal breathing room situation, might start to see a little doubt creep in for Kalamazoo. Michael Tam down into the play. That one coming to the near side. Here's Szydlowski. Embach all by himself in the slot, but Sid unable to get it to him. Here's Faille. Here's Embach walking in, now retreats. Over to Tam. Tam, that one blocked by Barteaux right off his leg into the corner. And the captain hobbled a little as he quickly outlets it. You can tell he's feeling that one. Here's Tam. Tam, long outlet. And that one heads up into the bench of the K's. So we will have a face-off in the Komets zone. Parkview Sports Medicine, our fantastic title sponsor, has been both of the years that we've provided you these broadcasts of Komet hockey here on MyTV. PSM has a lot of different branches, one of them being Parkview Athletic Rehab. It's redefining sports performance and injury prevention through biomechanical assessments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call PSM at 260-266-4007. Many of you know my Achilles situation. I'm going through that rehab with Brian Beausier at Parkview Athletic Rehab right now, as that one's redirected to Will. Easily kind of stops that one with the stick and gets it going, trying to get through the forecheck for the K-Wings. But, hey, nobody likes to deal with any kind of rehab situation. It's no fun. But when you're doing it with someone who's an absolute expert and knows what they're doing, and you can see results, it makes it a lot easier, and that's what you get with the guys at Parkview Athletic Rehab. So go ahead and check those guys out. Something like that right now. We got 11:50 to go here in the second period from Kalamazoo. 3-2 is the score. Komets trying to close this thing out. Enough's enough from these pesky rivals to the north. Want to get to this second round, get a little bit of rest with the Wheeling and Toledo series looking like it might have a couple of days left in it. Bloomstrand, that one deflected off of the stick of Lacasse and up into the netting. Try to bring up the ECHL scoreboard and see if I can give you a couple of updates here. What's going on around the league. Wheeling right now up 1-0 in the second period on Toledo. That is game 5, I believe. And that series is knotted up at 2 apiece. Severyn sends one in, heads off into the corner. Be interesting if Wheeling could pull off the upsets in that other series. So many people, myself included, thought that the Komets and Toledo were on a collision course for a second round matchup. Obviously, it had been the two dominant teams within the division and for most of the year within the conference. And so you just thought that that's what it was going to come down to sooner or later. Wheeling has something to say about that. More importantly, Komets just need to take care of business and end this thing and await whoever comes out of that other one. 3-on-2 developing. Barteaux on the right side, centering feed. Ponich sends it in. Kick save by Will and off into the corner. A drive, rebound, and back up to the point once again. This is Urban. Now Neal plays it down to Taylor. Good shift going on. Wrap around attempt, loose in front, rebound, and flipped out and cleared as that one was loose in that slot area. Don't think it actually made it through to Will at any point except for on the rebound or on the reach around. All right, and here come the K's. Getting through the forecheck is Drew Daniels. Backdoor feed, backhander, score! Drew Daniels on a beautiful saucer pass from Mike Embach, and the defenseman goes backhand to make it 4-2. What a nice feed by Daniels, and Joel Martin hung out to dry by his defenseman as no one marked a slicing Drew Daniels from the backside. And how about the defenseman finishing? 4-2 K's. We talked about how important the next goal would be. So important. We'll have to see Kalamazoo's reaction, as that's going to be an icing down at the other end. That's the thing. You just have to wonder. Now 9:13 left to go in the second period. Down 2 goals. Some little itty bits, shreds of doubt have got to be creeping into Kalamazoo's mind. You'll wonder what the reaction is going to be. Is it going to be to come out and fight or fold up and go home? We'll find out over the next 9:06 here in the second period. Mitchell Hurd, Christian Willett, Matt Pistilli out there. This is Catalyst centering feed, no one home. Point position, one-timer on the way by Chelios, knocked down into the corner. Catalyst whipping around, poked down deep, Chelios. Here's Catalyst, backhander to Urban. Urban up high, that one goes off the chest of Scheidel, who whips it in front, goes right through the crease, and the Komets clear. 8:30 left to go in the second period. Komets smelling it. 3-on-2. Urban sends one in off the post and comes out. Oh, you can't get any closer than what Denny Urban just had. Back the other way. Taylor knocked down by Soul and into the corner. Here's Solar marking up, and now Bourbeau to Neal. To Taylor. Another wraparound coming out high. Canisto. Sova fakes the shot. Now works around. Wrister gloved by Will. Timeout on the ice. We'll take it with them. Komets up 4-2. You're watching My Komets on my TV.
On the next episode of
Parkview Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Wing Stadium. Tommy Schegler with you. We are in the second period of game number 5. The Komets have scored in the last couple minutes. Drew Daniels marking to make it 4-2. Komets now in front. We talked about the response from Kalamazoo, and so far through 2 shifts since the goal, Kalamazoo has not looked to be folding up, although Embach walking in now. Save Martin. Ooh, Mike Embach doesn't miss from there very much. Wide open as he walked in. It's funny, I said earlier that Emmer had been a little quiet in this series, and boy, I was wrong at least from an assist standpoint. 5 assists so far in the series, so pretty good clip. He's also got a goal, so while he might not be lighting it up from a goal standpoint, he's had a big part in a lot as that one flips up and out of play, but deflected, no delay game there. But, yeah, my apologies to Emmer. He has been definitely coming through here for the Komets so far in this series, tallying another assist tonight on that last goal that put them up by the 2-goal margin that they have right now, 4-2. If the Komets are able to hold on tonight, everybody, we will have a sound-off with the Komets coming your way on Monday night from the Sport One Parkview Ice House. And our guest will be the legend, Bob Chase. So Chaser will join us on Monday night out at the Ice House at 7:30. We encourage you to come out and enjoy Bob in person. It's just an absolute treasure of not only the Komets organization, but Fort Wayne, Northeast Indiana overall. Chance to be able to meet him and shake his hand is something that you shouldn't pass up. So we definitely invite you to come on out on Monday night if the Komets win here tonight. And that is going to be a tripping call. Matt Lowry taken to the ice, and the Komets are going to go on the power play. See who is headed to the box, and I will tell you when we come back from this commercial break. You're watching My Komets on my TV.
On divorce court, the road to love can be bumpy.
I thought he was too nice. Oh, I did.
There are twists and turns.
Had he not caught you, you probably would have cheated on him already.
Those weren't my intentions.
Well,
He was still seeing his ex.
did you ever cheat?
I never slept with anybody.
Presented by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Back to live action here. Power play. Matt Carrier called for the tripping call. So Korea in the box. 2-minute power play for the Komets. First 23 seconds of that has now gone by. Mike Embach trying to make something happen, laying a big hit behind the play on Chelios. Szydlowski kind of calmly bringing it up. Now misfires on the pass back to Daniels, and they'll try to do it all over again now. Daniels starts to bring it up. Outlets to Sid. Sid sends it in deep. Other side, Eric Faille. And Embach fighting for it with Barteaux, who wheels and sends it down the other way. Taylor on his horse, beats everybody down. That deflected off. Now centering feed in front. Barteaux right in front and scores. A breakdown of epic proportion for the Komets on the power play. And somehow the captain, Barteaux, was all alone in front of Roman Will and had all kinds of time to put it home. Wow. That one was ugly. Komets still have 48 seconds of power play time left. Barteaux was able to fight through the poke check from Will and then put it 5-hole through Roman. So here's Hurd. Best way to answer would be to get a power play goal right now. Here's Martin. Ouellette tracks it down, sends it far side over to Hurd. He checks out the situation, screens off a player. Szydlowski able to get it out. 20 seconds remain on the power play to Korea. And another turnover in the neutral zone. Szydlowski gonna whip it around. And here's Pistilli. Pistilli with space. Splits through the defenders into the corner. Leaving it for Ouellette. Power play is over. Full strength for both, but the Komets still with it. Point position. Down half wall to Hurd. Hurd loses the handle, and Carrier is going to have a chance at a one-on-one move. Carrier, backhander, and it goes just wide. Ooh, it was an open net, but Carrier could not get it to go. And winning the race down to the other end is Ouellette. 4:12 left to go in the second period. Back and forth action. 4-3, Komets in front. This is entertaining stuff as that one sends off the stick of Cody Soul and out of play. Four to 3, Komets still in front. All right. Let's see if the Komets can settle down a little bit. Gary Graham decides, you know what? The third line has been the line that's been kind of the settling, driving force in this game all night long. Let's send them out there, kind of trying to right the ship a little bit. So that's who is out there right now. Matt Lowry, CJ Severyn, Kaylee Schrock. And it's Lowry backhanding it to Severyn, who tries to poke it along and is able to get it out. Kaylee Schrock strong on the forecheck on Canisto. Big hit laid by CJ Severyn behind the play. Now Schrock's all the way here on the near side. He takes a player down, and we're going to get a call. We're going to get a call. Not sure if I agree with that one. But it is going to be a tripping call on Kaylee Schrock. And The idea of getting high energy checking line kind of backfires in Gary Graham's face, as instead it ends up in a penalty, and now the penalty kill will be out there. Eric Faille, Sean Szydlowski, Will Lacasse, Cody Soul, all out there right now. One cleanly and cleared by the K's. Joel Martin way out of his cage to play that one. Soul sends it back in, deflected by Chelios. .3:15 left to go in the period. 1:37 left to go in the power play. The captain, Kaylee Schrock, called for a trip and is in the box for two. Canisto now at the half wall, works out to the point. Now down low for Nagy. Nagy is met by Soul. Lacasse fights for it behind the net and back out to the point. The wings send it. Nagy wheeling around, down low to Carrier. Now back to Nagy, around a defender, over to the left, and that one in on Will, and covering up is the young netminder. A big save there by Roman Will. Wow, what a save. Just watched it on the replay here inside the arena. That is a big moment in this game, everybody. Obviously, still 1:05 left in the power play, but Chelios was walking in. Some very pretty passing by the K-Wings to get themselves an open look, and Will just came up with one of those saves that you need your goaltenders to come up with from time to time. So as I mentioned, we're halfway through the power play, and we're in the late portions of the second period. Turnover in front, Pistilli. Oh, he lost it as he walked in on Martin. Poked away, looked like by Martin. Looked like Pistilli was going to be able to answer the shorthanded goal that the Wings just put up on the board with one of their own for the Komets. Bloomstrand sends one in, knocked down by Barteaux. He's feeling it on the left leg and heads to the bench immediately. Probably the last rush of the power play for the K-Wings coming up as 17 seconds remains on the man advantage. We're under 2 minutes to go in the period. Komets still with a 1-goal lead here in Kalamazoo. Michael Tam fighting with it with Bloomstrand. Takes him to his knees. Bloomstrand continues to fight. And that one flipped up here on the half wall. They keep it in. Deflected in front by Daniels. He plays it off the wall and out, and full strength. The power play comes to an end. Embach works around a defender into the slot. That one deflected off into the corner. Emmer with it again. And now Schrock poking at it. Comes out to the point. Daniels down to Schrock. Off the wall to Embach. Embach sending one in. That goes off the side of the netting. Kaylee Schrock pointing at it again. We're under a minute to go. Michael Tam sends one in. Rebound in front. Taken to the ice was Mike Embach. No call. And that'll be an icing. So no change will be allowed for Kalamazoo. And that line was out there for quite some time. So probably got some pretty tired guys out there right now, does Nick Bootland, with 51 seconds left to go. And now the money line sent out along with Mitchell Hurd, because Emmer was out there for so long there. So it's Faille, Szydlowski, and Hurd into the slot off of the faceoff. Here's Faille at neutral. Still no change. Those guys have been out there for a while. Szydlowski over to Hurd. Hurd a couple moves and scores! Mitchell Hurd, the backhander in front. A tired line out there for Nick Bootland in Kalamazoo, and they catch him and are now back up by 2 at 5-3. 34 seconds left to go in the second period. Pretty cool sign from some of the Komet fans. A heard that sign with a Komets logo behind it. Kalamazoo heard that. 5-3, first goal for Mitchell Hurd as they come right back and fighting it off as Will. With speed up the left side. Kalamazoo came in, just 13 seconds remain. Got to get through the end. That one deflects off of a stick and out of play. I correct myself, Mitchell Hurd had a goal last night, so second goal for Hurd since he's come back. Seven seconds left to go here in the second period. The Let's Go Komets chant raining out here in Wing Stadium, starting to take over the building. Big pop on Mike Embach by Denny Urban, and under a second left we get the icing call. So we'll basically get a face-off, and then we will head to the locker room. Komets will be up by 2. And that'll do it. Michael Tam sends a quick check in on Jurgo Nagy right as the whistle sounds. Couple of extra words. But we are going to head to the final 20 with the Komets up 2, looking to close this first round series out. You're watching my Komets on my TV. Moments away from the third period, starting here in Kalamazoo. Tommy Schegler with you. Komets with a 5-3 lead headed into the final period of play here in Kalamazoo. This large contingent of Komet fans greeting the team with a huge round of applause as they came back out onto the ice. The chants of "Let's Go Komets" raining down. Really always are just so impressed by the way that Komet fans travel to support their team. Obviously Kalamazoo, such a long history, long rivalry, easy trip. That's why it just makes so much sense that the ECHL has decided to put us in different conferences next year, but that's a different story and a different show altogether. Obviously it would be amazing if these two teams could meet in the finals one year, but starting next year, that's the only place they're going to be able to meet because they're going to be in different conferences. So you got to enjoy this while it lasts, everybody, as the third period gets underway. Let's not enjoy it too long because we want to wrap this thing up. Komets win the opening face-off, that third line, starting once again for the K's. Trying to get some momentum going in the right direction here to start the third. That one batted up into the air. Catalyst plays it on the fresh sheet of ice over to Urban. Urban with it. Back to Catalyst. Catalyst missed game 3, flu-like symptoms. He's back in there last night, but definitely missed him on Wednesday. That one deflected by Embach, and coming away with it is Bloomstrand. Bloomstrand's got Taylor on the net drive in the middle, and that one goes off of a stick and up out of play. 19:04 to go in the game. Komets up 5-3 right now. Parkview Sports Medicine bringing you another edition of Komet Playoff Hockey. The game just isn't the same without you. Call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-3700 24-007. When pain or injury strikes, make their team of expert physicians your dream team. That face-off won by the Komets. Face-offs, as I've tallied them, which probably isn't 100% accurately, if I'm being completely honest, as that one gets in on Will, and a whistle coming. And we're going to get a slashing call, I believe, on Kalamazoo. Although, no, I'm wrong. They're opening the Komets box, and it's going to be Mike Embach that heads in. So it will be a power play opportunity for Kalamazoo, slashing the call on Mike Embach. Anyways, face-offs probably favoring Kalamazoo slightly, but very close right now, as I've tried to tally them as we've gone through. Mitchell Hurd will set to take this one. And he wins this one cleanly. The Komets are able to clear to start the man advantage for Kazoo. Joel Martin behind his net comes out to play it. Chelios spins off of Matt Pistilli. Comes out from behind his net, and here comes the rush for the Wings. Carry up the left side, leaving it to the point. Chelios now over to Canisto. Canisto, one-timer on the way to Chelios, and that one directed off into the corner by Will. Hurd winds and drives it, and that one off the chest of Joel Martin all the way down on the other side. 1:19 left to go in the power play for Kazoo. Here's Neal. Neal on the right side. Tried to feather a pass in the middle, missed everybody, and comes to the far side. And now he's back with it here on the near side. Nagy looking in front, backside, Canisto, can't play it. Here comes Schrock. Schrock around a defender, and then nails into the linesman, who he is not happy with. Sean Morgan getting in the way of the captain, Kaylee Schrock. 43 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Catalyst backhanding it over to Szydlowski. Szydlowski to Urban. Good forecheck being put on by the Komets, just to try to delay as long as possible and make it as tough as possible for Kazoo to get up the ice. 22 seconds left on the power play. Cody Soul can't clear it, but poking it out of there is Faille. And now Severyn wins the race. Severyn delays, backhands it, and a tripping call should be coming, and nothing is coming, as Eric Faille was clearly tripped. Power play has come to an end as Embach comes out of the box, and we're at full strength. 5-3 still the score. Komets up 2. Keeping it in. Oh, not keeping it in. We get a whistle. 16:38 left to go in the game. 5-3. Komets up 2 goals right now. Hope you're enjoying the game if you're watching it at the official watch zone of Comet Hockey here on My TV Fort Wayne. And, of course, the Tilted Kilt out at Jefferson Point. Go on out. If you're one of those people that wants to watch the game but enjoys it even more if you can watch it with fans, then the Tilted Kilt will be a great place to go. They have the games on. They have different specials going on nights of the game. So go on out. I hear they're getting good crowds. Official watch zone of Comet Hockey here on My TV Fort Wayne. Tilted Kilt out at Jefferson Point. Another whistle. All right, Mitchell Hurd, Matt Pistilli, Christian Ouellette out there, second line. Taylor wins the faceoff for the Zoo. Taylor comes to Canisto. Canisto walking it in. Now flips it up lightly. Hurd and Neal fighting for it. Flipped over to Pistilli. And now it's shoveled along behind the net. Barteaux was taken down behind the play. Back into it now and in front of the net. Sova sends one in, deflected and broken up by the Komets. James Martin, the initial one to do that, and now He mishandles the puck at neutral, and then it's given right back to the Komets. Matt Pistilli comes away with it, and here's Martin. Martin to Barteaux. Now it's Mitchell Hurt. That one cut off in the corner by Willette, jumps over the stick of Hurd, and tracking it down in the corner are the Wings. Carrier comes away with it, gets through the forecheck, and into neutral. Over to Nagy. Nagy with some speed up the right wing. Tries to center, goes off the skate of Cody Solon into the corner. And here's Fatorik. Centering feed intercepted and broken up by Matt Lowry. And here's Lowry coming the other way. Tries to slip a defender, then meets Denny Urban behind the net. Unable to take the Wings off the play, and they're able to get it out. And some jousting behind the play between Garrett Mears and Denny Urban of the K-Wings. No call coming either way. Rister sent in high and wide. And another hit put on by Mears, and now it comes out to him. Sam Fatorik, the receiver of that one. And that one is going to be an offsides. .46 left to go here in the game. Komets continue to hang on to a 2-goal lead at 5-3. Be sure to tune in to 21 Alive tonight. We will have post-game reaction from this one. Sean Szydlowski trying to get something going on the forecheck, unable to do so. Taylor comes away with it, slips around, Faille, centering feed goes right through the crease, and the Komets come away with it and clear. Here's Szydlowski, 2-on-1 with Daniels, also Faille. Sid waits a little too long, gets around the defender, feeds it in front. Rister sent in and never gets through, knocked down, and the K-Wings, and that one is going to be on Mike Embach. Knee-to-knee hip check kind of situation, probably going to be some kind of trip. Yep, knee to knee. And the Komet fans not liking that, as Emmer's going to head to the box. 2 minutes. That'll be the man advantage for Kalamazoo. And you think back to last night and the situation that the Komets went through. Different scenario, though, because it was a tie game at 3. A 4-minute double minor to C.J. Severyn on a high stick. And then inside of that, you had the interference. And so that resulted in the 5-on-3 situation and the eventual game-winning goal scored within that. It's not the same deal. Komets with a 2-goal lead, but nonetheless, as offsides called as they try to bring it into the Komet zone. Embach 2 minutes for tripping. The 5:43 mark in the third. But it would go a long way to be able to kill this off without giving up a goal. Face-off will come outside of the Komet zone. It'll be Matt Lowry and Canisto. All right, here is the big fella, Sam Fatorik. He feeds it off. Canisto with some speed coming up the right side, carries it in, gets around a defender, and Lacasse walks right in. Rister goes wide, and they keep it in. Fatorik wheels it around, playing it off the board is Urban. Down low, Catalyst tries to run it down. It's poked out nicely by James Martin. Minute and 12 left on the power play for KZoo. Here is Fatorik. Fatorik over to Nagy. Nagy's got a little bit of space. Wheels around behind Will. Stolen away and broken up by Cody Soul. Now into the corner. Jumps over Soul's stick. Carrier plays it near side. But Will Lacasse that being, able to get in there. And then Pistilli is able to clear it. 38 seconds left to go on the man advantage. So this could be the last rush of the man advantage, and we get a whistle. And headed to the box is going to be Neal, I believe, for an elbow. They were jousting coming down the ice. And Michael Neal will head to the box. So we get 4-on-4 for the final 24 seconds of the 2-minute penalty on Mike Embach. And then after that, there'll be minute and 36 seconds of power play time for the Komets. So they dodge the bullet, kill off most of the penalty, and are rewarded on the backside by getting now a man advantage of their own. Slash, actually, the call on Neal. Barteaux fakes out Borbo. But then the shot blocked, and back come the K-Wings. James Martin fighting with Taylor. We got 9 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Coming out of the box is going to be Embach, and he could get in on this. It's a 2-on-1 either way. Hurd and Pistilli. Hurd and Pistilli. Here's Hurd. Over to Pistilli. One-timer, and it can't go. Still with it is Mitchell Hurd as Embach is now back on the ice. Sean Szydlowski coming on the ice as well. Komets on the power play. Here is James Martin. Over to Hurd. Hurd at the dot. Waits, comes behind the net. Still looking around as he wheels. Now feathers it over to Martin. Now to Pistilli. Pistilli looking to feed it up top. It's Embach as Pistilli's taken down. Nobody in front right now. Still a minute on the power play. A lot of possession time as that one's blocked by Borbeau, who's lost his stick. So 3.5 guys out there for Kalamazoo right now. Embach right in there on the slot. On the doorstep, and that pass goes through the legs of Pistilli. Out to Emmer. A drive, save, rebound, and a clear by Kalamazoo. Still 40 on the power play. Embach up against 3 defenders. Still able to carry it in. Severyn out there now. That one jumps off Emmer's stick. And he fights with Ponich. Szydlowski meets it on the near side and sends it down the ice. 20 seconds to go. Bloomstrand fighting with Faille, who beats him up the ice. Fanning on it, though, are the K's. Faille comes away with it. Still working around that broken stick. Centering feed, and Daniels couldn't handle it. And that one taken out, and that will essentially be the end of the power play to Michael Neal. Ooh, that one jumps over the stick of Daniels in front, and a shot high and wide by Szydlowski. A prime opportunity. Szydlowski almost had the same, but couldn't handle the long pass, and we get an icing. Oh, up and down action over the last several minutes. Great opportunity for Szydlowski there, who was able to poke check that one away and got the turnover. Came away with a good look, but sent it high and wide over the right side of the goal there. Left shoulder of Roman Will. Sam Fatorik comes away with it. For Kalamazoo, we are almost at the 10-minute mark, just over that. It's 5-3 Komets. Check that, Sam Fatorik centering, knocked down in front. Now Carrier with it. He feeds it in front, covered up by Roman Will, and we will have a timeout. You're watching my Komets on my TV.
TV Fort Wayne, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Kalamazoo needs one more last effort to try to save their season, because we are at the 10-minute mark left to go in game number 5 here in Kalamazoo. The Komets with a 3-1 lead in the series, and the Komets with a 5-3 lead in this game. You expect to see one more push from Kalamazoo in the next few minutes. That one goes off of a stick and high off the glass, then bouncing in front, and now fought for in the corner. Chelios, one-timer sent in by Carey, a big save for Roman Will. Turnover, Sova in front to Nagy. One more pass and no one home, but kept in by Chelios. Fedoruk faked the shot down low now to Nagy. No carry to Chelios. Chelios looks it over. Now feathers one inside. That one off the post. It's redirected in front and off the post after Nagy was able to send it towards the net, and a close call for the Komets. That one sent down in, redirected halfway there by Carrier. .8:52 left to go in the game. 5-3 still the score. A conversation at center ice. Looked like Carrier had redirected that. And so I think they're calling no icing here. So we'll get a face-off at center instead of all the way back down in the Kalamazoo side. All right, here's Chelios on the left side for Kalamazoo. Sending one in. Oh, Chelios wide open after the deflection. Sends one in, pad save, Will. Big save there by Roman Will. Obviously there was nobody in front of him. He got a great look at it, but Chelios still had all kinds of time to wind and fire on him. Bloomstrand now in the far corner. Here is that push, though, that we expected to see from Kalamazoo over the last couple minutes. They get an off-the-post job, and then have a nice look from Chelios. Now a 2-on-1 developing. Will Lacasse just came out onto the ice and made it a 2-on-2. That shot deflected up and over the bar, kind of softly behind the net of Roman Will. Still deep in the zone with it, though, are the Wings. Sending it in front. Rebound, still loose. Fighting for it. And we get a whistle as it was able to come back down. A couple of extra shots by Catalyst on Will Lacasse. Timeout on the ice. 5-3 right now. You're watching my Komets on My TV.
My TV Ford Way, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine.
All right, back to live action. Off the face-off deflected up out of play. Tommy Schegler with you. Here on a Saturday night, 7:46 left to go. And they said no deflection on that puck that just went up and out of play. Cody Soul's going to be called for a delay of game. I really thought that was deflected. Tyler Putafant, the referee tonight, not agreeing with me. So it's going to be another power play opportunity for the K-Wings at 7:46 left to go in the game. Komets still hanging on to a 2-goal lead at 5-3. That one poked away into the corner by Schrock. Tam fighting for it, but the Kalamazoo K-Wings come away with it. Chelios thought about the shot, now feeds it down. In front, redirected and score by Neal. Wow, that was a pretty play by Michael Neal. Power play goal. Cody Soul will hop up out of the box. And things just got interesting again. Kalamazoo gets to within a goal at 5-4. So 5-4 now the score. Michael Neal gets the goal that gets Kazoo within 1 goal of the Komets on a nice redirect in front. And that is a power play goal. Ian Barteaux able to backhand it, and it's going to go all the way down for an icing. Next 7 minutes going to be very interesting, everybody. And it is going to be very intense, as it is apparent Nick Bootland and his team not going to go away at all. They are fighting right to the end of this thing. That face-off won by the K's. Ian Barteaux rubbing Sam Fatorik off the play. They're able to clear it out. Like to see the Komets continue to attack. Here's Chelios. Chelios gets through a couple of defenders and brings it into the zone. He's rubbed off the play nicely on the wall, but fights through those two checks and then regains possession. One-timer, Fatorik knocked down by Mitchell Hurd. Hurd's got a 2-on-1 going. It hops up off his stick. They have to get back on side, so Hurd has to wait. Blown opportunity there for the Komets. Unfortunate. Here's Embach. Embach flips it up. Gets around Canisto. Fights off Canisto twice, now 3 times. Wheels in the corner. Eric Faille comes to help him. It jumps off both their sticks, and here come the Wings the other way. 6 minutes to go in the game. Komets up 5-4, looking to close this series out. Swatting at it was Szydlowski, unable to do so. Over to Faille from Embach. Back in front. Spinning puck is taken there by Bloomstrand, who now kicks it into the Komets zone. Drew Daniels comes away with it, but Bloomstrand now in the corner. In front, centering feed, loose. And no shot on Will, but out to the point. A drive, loose in front, and covering up is Roman Will. Ooh, we got a timeout, everybody. 5-4. Komets are hanging on to a 1-goal lead. You're watching my Komets on my TV.
Hockey on My TV Fort Wayne. Presented by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Welcome back here to Wing Stadium, everybody. Things have gotten interesting. Kalamazoo has scored a goal to make it just a 1-goal game. Komets up 5-4. So the push has begun for the Zoo, and it's Taylor with it, whipping it around to the point. High to low now. Neal with it. He's the guy that just scored. He's with it once again, working on Lacasse. Tries to bring it in front, taken away there. And going the other way with it is C.J. Severyn. Nice couple moves around some defenders. Carries it into the Zoo zone. Flips it in front. Centering feed. No one home. Kaylee Schrock was trying to chip that one past Martin. That one sent into the corner.
Get her head straight and work
it over to Martin. Martin high off the wall. Running it down is Mitchell Hurd. Hurd fighting with a couple of Wings. Nagy gloves it down to Sova. Sova fighting with Willette. Hurd gets involved in it. Hurd outplays everybody. Tries to work it into the slot, and then it's poked away at the last moment. And the Wings will clear and begin a rush. Actually, Ouellette picked in the pocket. That one sent in off the leg of Sova, never made it through. Sova feeling that one, no doubt about that, as he heads to the bench. You're going to feel that in the morning, no doubt about that. Turnover, Szydlowski on the right side, centering feed in, taken away, and the net comes off the moorings. Oh, the Komets were buzzing in front, and Szydlowski kind of flies in there, and the net comes off the moorings. 3:46 left to go. Komets, couple of great opportunities, forcing a couple turnovers in the Kalamazoo zone, and it resulted in a couple of nice opportunities. Checking the ECHL scoreboard, Game 5 right now between Toledo and Wheeling. Tied up at 1 in the third period. That series tied at 2 right now, so that's a huge Game 5 right now in Wheeling. Game 6 and Game 7 are in Toledo for that series. So it's a big one for the Nailers, trying to take a 3-2 lead and force the Walleye to win both Games 6 and 7 on their home ice. Eric Faille wins The face-off shot by Emmer, deflected out to neutral, and the Komets then send it back in. Here's Faille on the forecheck. Szydlowski also getting in there, and the Komets keep it in. Daniels a drive, kicked up and moved into the corner by Martin. 3:25 left to go in the game. 1-goal lead for the Komets, trying to close things out. Can they do it? Barteaux sends one in deep. Komets are able to clear. Eric Faille swiping it out of the air. Komets get a change. Drew Daniels with it now. The Let's Go Komets chant raining out here in Wing Stadium. Here's Schrock. Schrock holding on to it. 2:52 left. Works it down into the corner. Here's that third line of Lowry, Severyn, and Schrock that's played well tonight. Holding on to Severyn's stick. You got 3 wings down there and only 2 Komets, and the K's are holding their own. Severyn almost comes away with it. Schrock almost comes away with it. Oh, they just barely are short on being able to keep it in with 2:33 left to go. So we'll get a face-off. It'll come out of the wing zone. Lowry was so close to keeping that thing in. Mitchell Hurd will come back out with the second line. We'll let Pistilli, Martin, and Barteaux, the D pairing. Of course, Barteaux kind of thrust into this position in this series here with the late regular season injury to Joey Leach, and has played well for most of the series. Great energy guy and a good guy in the room. Fed in front, one-timer on the way, fighting it off is Martin. Oh, great opportunity. Bloomstrand. Backdoor feed, and that one jumps off the stick of Pistilli. Bloomstrand. Feed in front, up in the air, and off the crossbar. It looked to be so close. Back and forth action with 1:55 left to go in the game. Komets holding on to a 1-goal lead. The Let's Go Komet chant starting back up again. This crowd trying to urge their team on to close out the K-Wings. We'll take a look at Joel Martin and see when he comes out for Nick Bootland. Started to right there, but the Komets regain possession. Here's Szydlowski and Embach. Sid sends one in, and it gets deflected in front and up. Almost out of play, but stays in with 1:18 left to go. Here's Sid fighting for it. Martin looks to come out, but the Komets keep it in. He can't get out of there because the Komets are putting on such great pressure right now. Here's Urban working it over to Vitork. They want to send it in deep so Martin can get out of there. There's now under a minute to go. That one bounces out behind the boards and in front of Martin. He's got to cover up. Woo! Great pressure put on by the Komets, and a standing ovation from this crowd who has traveled up to Michigan on a Saturday night to see their team try to close this thing out. They're 54 seconds away from doing so with a 1-goal lead. You can hear it, folks. Let me just listen in. I mean, seriously, how cool is that? It's a road game. It is a road game. Just don't realize how lucky we are as an organization in Fort Wayne and the kind of amazing support that this team gets. It's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of. 5-4, Komets in front, trying to hang on. 54 seconds left to go. There will be a face-off to the right of Joel Martin. And he wants to get out of that crease and onto the bench as quickly as possible so that the Wings can get an extra defender out there. Last time they had a man advantage, they scored earlier in this period. Michael Neal in front on a redirection. That third line back out there for Gary Graham. Matt Lowry steps to the dot. Justin Taylor as well. They'll do it all over again. A little too early that time. Comet fans still on their feet. That one won by the K's. But now whipped out. And there goes Martin. And this will be an icing. 48 seconds left to go, so they killed off 6 seconds. Martin will have to come back out. All right, they'll do it all over again. Top line, the money line comes out for the K's. It'll be Eric Faille against Justin Taylor. That one a 50-50 puck. Squirts off into the corner. And is out of the zone, but Drew Daniels is right there. Martin's got to come right back into the crease. 38 seconds to go. They just can't even get Martin out and onto the bench. It's amazing. They finally do now. Bloomstrand flips it in. Extra attacker is out there. Whipped around, held in at the point, set in front, blocked down in front. Embach's got it. Embach backhands it along. Eric Faille trying to run it down, sends it towards the net, deflected in front and scores! With 13.9 to go, the Komets have wrapped this thing up and are going to move on to the second round of the Kelly Cup playoffs. Eric Faille sent it towards the goal, and it was actually deflected into the net by a sprawling Wings defender. 6 goals for the Komets by 6 different players tonight. So the Komets will move on to the second round. We don't know who they'll play yet, but game 1, whether it's in the Coliseum or it's in Toledo, will be on Friday. Can mark that down. Friday will be game 1. It'll either be at home against Wheeling or it'll be on the road against Toledo. 6-4 will be likely your final. 5.9 to go in the game. One more face-off, you would think. Fought for, kicked back to Seoul. CJ Severyn, the last one to play it, and the horn sounds. Your Fort Wayne Komets are moving on to the second round of the Kelly Cup playoffs after a 6-4 win here in game number 5. They win the series 4 games to 1. You're watching my Komets on my TV. Welcome back here to Wing Stadium. They just wrapped up the customary shaking of the hands at center ice. Great tradition in playoff hockey at any level. Awesome moments there when you see former captain former captain Colin Chalk, and then the current captain Kaylee Schrock. Obviously, former teammates, won many championships together. Chalker now an assistant with Kalamazoo. Those two meeting up, as well as Gary Graham, long history there.